Here we go.
Throwing on the first play from scrimmage, here's Burrow. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Watson, off play action. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
On first down, it's Watson. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Chase Young in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first. How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. They proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure now, Watson and... Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Burrow. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive. He comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line.
12. 11.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Here we go. 11. 11. 11 MT. 11 MT. 11.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Burrow, he's going to loft one deep left side here. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Houston.
Jamar Chase.
Touchdown number 22 on the season.
And the Texans have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead.
Extra point try good by Gano. And it's now 14-0. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
This is Wilson on the jet sweep.
He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Brought down at the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. straight ahead, Etienne. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
This pass complete. He finds Jeremy Ruckert. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Hey, 31!
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
Etienne on the toss right.
And this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stopped him behind the line for the second straight play. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Texans will take over possession here up at the 44.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. This offense, Charles, we've talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 with a finish line for a perfect regular season.
Here we go.
That's in sight. Some in the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah, but something like 4 of their last 6 wins were one-possession games, and they played like a team that was trying to protect something instead of chasing something. And that's what happens when you have an undefeated record. So it behooves you as a team, get a couple blowouts in there so you get a chance to relax and breathe. But that's much easier said than done.
Here we go.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On third down, Knox. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
And now they will throw it with Burrow. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
Micah Parsons
buries him for a loss of 11 from his outside linebacker spot.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Here we go, here we go.
They're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Now it's Burrow.
Throw left side, taken in by Pittman.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. On third down, Burrow. They're going right back to Pittman. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
And I believe that gain on third and long changes things quite a bit, because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
Let's get set.
On fourth down, they'll try and run for it. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
Okay, you and I are sitting up here getting ready to analyze whether they should go for it or not. Did you see the quarterback just point to the sideline and say, everybody back, I've got this call?
Well, you knew this side of the field, they're in plus territory, 4th and 1. He wasn't coming off the field.
No, he wasn't coming off the field, and he wasn't letting the offense go with him at all. He said, we're staying out here, and we're picking this one up. That's some leadership right there.
11 mighty.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. The toss here completed to Pittman. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
11 Thomas.
On second down now, Knox. And pretty good running as he'll be close to a first down at the Falcons' 23. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On third down, Knox. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. They did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Gano now to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24.
Makes the score Texans 24, Falcons nothing.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
First down 10 at their own 17-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Now Watson. He hits his target, Lockett. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Back to throw, Watson. He'll get this out to the flat for ETN. Finding room at midfield. And he will be out of bounds. A good yardage there, and he'll get a second to catch his breath as it leads us right into the 2-minute warning. Watson on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game. It has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And the deficit will stay at 3 scores.
Wow, partner, it's almost a little jarring to see a holder set up on the other side of midfield. I haven't brought out my binoculars to make sure on that one. That is showing an awful lot of confidence in the kicker to try and hit from 61 yards, and this one winds up no good.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the Falcons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified. This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And now Watson throws another interception. Jalen Petrie picks it off, and the Texans are going to take possession of the football. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But, Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Falcons are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jalen Arthur-Davis. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, when we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
Here we go, here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Burrow. And, oh, that would get a wide-up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know that there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. His throw caught, right around the 6. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead, and part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there as the first half is winding down, and the Texans are able to add on to their first half lead. Gano the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone and tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down. The decision is to decline it and not give him the down back.
They might as well have sent a skywriter above the stadium saying, we don't think you can get the 1st down against our defense by that decision.
It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And out across midfield down to the 45. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On first down, Watson. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Throwing again on second down, Watson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jalen Armour-Davis. And the Texans are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
11 MT paint.
On second and 15 now. Burrow. That is caught. Michael Pittman with it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
11 MT.
They'll run on first down. Knox. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Now a give right side. Knox. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Here we go.
Now a second down and 6. From midfield now, Burrow. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by J.C. Jackson. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. A lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the 3rd quarter. Now, they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
To throw again on second down. Watson, he'll get that underneath ETN. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
ETN up the middle. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment.
And he's going to go down again. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. On for the field goal now is Evan McPherson. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. McPherson's kick is good. And now they'll just need 4 touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it. So they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides will be thrilled with that.
On one, ready?
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll keep it on the ground. Knox, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. Another 6-yard carry, same as last play. First down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the 4th quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will we be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
A tackle made by Boye Mafe.
Gun. Gun.
On second down, Knox. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Here we go.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll try to field goal now with Graham Gano. And this obviously about as short of a field goal as you can get. Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, after that last sequence, they're sitting pretty comfortably. They force the fumble, get the field goal, and expand on that lead here in the second half.
And don't expect them to rest on their laurels after that kick either. They'll keep their effort up until the final whistle. They don't consider any lead safe.
And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
The Texans here on third down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Here's Watson. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Osa Odighizuwa drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up fourth down.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans will take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remote's clicking off right now. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw as here late in the season, he goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give him some space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
And pretty good running as he'll be close to a first down at the Falcons' 39.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On third down, Knox. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Watson, no, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And the Texans scoop it. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd down now, Knox. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
Here we go.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Now it's Burrow. And he'll find Pittman. And the Texans are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football. They'll keep it on the ground. Knox, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Up the middle they go. Knox, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Gano for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. It's caught. Lockett. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
24.
Now it's Watson. He'll drop this one off with ETN. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Christian Harris. And the Texans are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense can very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Here we go. Here we go. Stop.
They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue. So this offense, which was humming all game, ends on a negative play. We didn't see many of those as he takes the knee, but what an explosion and a good win.
Can we call it a negative positive play?
There you go.
An oxymoron to end the ball game.
And they can watch the clock go down and celebrate the victory. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Texans, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, it's a loss that could hurt come playoff seeding time as they fall to 11-3. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.